Ever wondered how Lamborghini, the iconic luxury car brand, came to be? Well, it all started with a twist of fate. Ferruccio Lamborghini, a former prisoner of war, returned to Italy and turned military equipment into tractors. This small venture transformed him into a millionaire and paved the way for the legendary sports car, Lamborghini. Born in 1916 in the rural town of Renazzo in northern Italy, Ferruccio came from a family of grape farmers. They taught him the values of hard work and producing quality products. But young Ferruccio had a different calling. He was more fascinated by fixing tractors than tending to the family's vineyards. Despite disappointing his family, he pursued his passion, studying mechanics at the Fratelli Tudia Technical Institute. To his father's dismay, upon graduation, he apprenticed with a master blacksmith, learning the secrets of ironworking and welding. However, his dream was to work at Cavalier Righi in Bologna, a factory responsible for maintaining the Italian army's vehicles. Ferruccio's persistence paid off, and he secured a job there. At the age of 18, he left Bologna and returned to his hometown of Renazzo. There, he teamed up with his friend, Marino Filippini, and together they established a workshop. Little did Ferruccio know that this small workshop was the first step toward realizing his dream. But there were many challenges to overcome before he could build his automotive empire. When the Second World War swept through the world, Ferruccio's life took a dramatic turn. Drafted into the Royal Italian Air Force, he found himself far from his carefree days. His skills led him to serve as a mechanic at the garrison in Rhodes Island, Greece. As history unfolded, Italy surrendered and German forces took control of the garrison, displacing the Italians. But Ferruccio, never one to back down, decided to stay. He requested permission to open his own workshop in the middle of turmoil. 2 years later, the Allied forces arrived and took everyone at the garrison as prisoners, including Ferruccio. Recognizing his technical talents, they put him to work fixing their vehicles. A year later, he was finally granted his freedom. However, Ferruccio's return home was marked by sorrow. His wife, Clelia, tragically passed away during childbirth, leaving him to care for their only child, Tonino. Despite these hardships, he remained dedicated to his workshop, where he primarily focused on repairing pre-war vehicles, lorries, and tractors. It all began with a simple request from his father: "I need a new tractor." This seemingly ordinary demand led Ferruccio to a profound realization. Italy, still recovering from the ravages of World War II, needed to boost its agricultural production. To achieve this, better equipment was crucial. Drawing from his experience working with both Allied and Axis vehicles during the war, Ferruccio embarked on a mission. He acquired surplus military equipment and ingeniously converted them into new tractors. These tractors featured old British Morris engines, modified to run on cost-effective diesel instead of pricey petrol. They offered a blend of affordability and innovation that was unheard of at the time. This venture led to the birth of Lamborghini tractors, but as demand grew, so did the need for capital. To secure funds for production, Ferruccio and his father took a significant risk, using their farm as collateral for a loan. Little did they know that this risk would pay off in ways beyond their wildest imagination. Ferruccio's success in the tractor manufacturing business made his company one of Italy's largest. With his newfound wealth, he celebrated it with finer things: exquisite food, fine wine, and fast cars. He collected a fleet of Jaguars, Mercedes, Maseratis, and Ferraris, but none of them quite satisfied him. His disappointment reached its peak when his beloved Ferrari 250 GT's clutch broke down. Frustrated, he took the car to his mechanic, where he made a startling discovery. The clutch was identical to the one on his tractors, but the price difference was staggering. This didn't sit well with Ferruccio. He decided to voice his concerns to Enzo Ferrari, expecting a resolution. However, Ferrari dismissed him, saying the problem wasn't with the cars, but with Ferruccio himself, branding him as a mere tractor driver and farmer. These words ignited a fire within Ferruccio. He returned home that day, determined to prove himself. Many called his endeavor crazy, believing he would squander his fortune. Nevertheless, Ferruccio forged ahead, starting his own company and hiring 3 ex-employees of Ferrari. In just 9 months, he unveiled his first sports car, the Lamborghini 350 GT, featuring his astrological sign as its emblem. This remarkable car was a technical masterpiece, boasting a V12 engine, 5-speed transmission, 4-wheel disc brakes, and 4-wheel independent suspension. It was unveiled at the Turin Motor Show, earning praise from customers and critics alike. Ferruccio had demonstrated that he wasn't just a farmer, but a mechanical genius capable of building superior cars. Ferruccio had a unique leadership style, giving his engineers the freedom to explore and experiment. This approach led to the creation of 2 iconic models, the 400 GT and a top-secret project, the Miura P400. The Miura was unlike anything seen before, featuring a groundbreaking rear mid-engine layout. What's intriguing is that it was kept hidden from Ferruccio initially, as he was not a fan of building race cars, having experienced a crash years earlier during a prestigious race. However, when Ferruccio eventually discovered the Miura project, he made the bold decision to continue with it. That decision would go down in history as one of his best. The Miura earned its place as the world's first supercar and set the standard for high-performance vehicles with its innovative rear mid-engine design. But the story doesn't end there. Lamborghini Trattori continued its successful streak. The company introduced more celebrated models, including the Espada, the Islero, the Jarama, the Arauco, and the legendary Countach. These cars stood out as they were entirely unique, not using any components from other manufacturers. In fact, the Countach gained a reputation as one of the most written about cars in history. Ferruccio Lamborghini, once a symbol of success, faced an unfortunate turn of events. A significant deal to supply 5,000 tractors to Bolivia was cancelled due to a political coup in the country. This loss forced him to sell his tractor company and relinquish 51% of his shares of Automobili Lamborghini. Soon after, global markets faced a dramatic crash, and the OAPEC initiated an oil embargo, causing fuel prices to soar and the automotive industry to plunge into a crisis. Ferruccio fought to keep his businesses afloat, finding buyers for his unsold tractors. However, he made the tough decision to retire early, selling the remaining 49% of his shares in Automobili Lamborghini. He did retain ownership of a heating company, passing it on to his son, Tonino, who later ventured into fashion and luxury businesses under the family name. Meanwhile, the new owners of Automobili Lamborghini attempted to revive the brand, but were met with failure. The company eventually faced liquidation, and a few years later, the Italian government sold it to 2 French billionaires for $3 million. Their intent was to revamp the old Lamborghini facilities and bring in new engineering talent, but financial difficulties led them to sell the company to Chrysler. Chrysler, in turn, had plans to import the Lamborghini brand into the United States, but this endeavor didn't yield the expected profits. Subsequently, they sold the company to an Indonesian conglomerate. While they saw some success in sales, the financial crisis in Asia posed insurmountable challenges. A pivotal moment came when Audi acquired the company and recognized the need for an increased focus on processes and product quality. Under their guidance, Lamborghini was reinvigorated to face the demands of the 21st century, reclaiming its rightful place in the market. With the release of iconic models like the Gallardo, Huracan, and the groundbreaking Urus SUV concepts, Lamborghini's presence was felt worldwide, with soaring sales, particularly in the United States. In 2019, Lamborghini reported record-breaking sales, and today, the company is valued at a staggering $8.8 billion. This, my friends, is the remarkable story of how a farmer and former prisoner of war transformed his tractor business into a sports car empire. Before we wrap up, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you never miss out on more inspiring stories and valuable advice from some of today's most successful leaders. Your support keeps us motivated to bring you more incredible content. Thanks for being part of our community, and we'll see you in the next video.